Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily Color. Today is episode 97. We are going to continue on with this second fish. We finished this fish yesterday. This is fish number 2. Yesterday's fish was Amazon Basics. I have all of the color numbers posted. I have the blues posted for yesterday's coloring with the Arrtx, and I'm going to continue on to finish the fins, and then we will move on to the flower colors. I have picked all of the colors for today. I'm going to tilt the fish and tilt the camera so that everything is at a better angle for me. You guys will see it all as straight, but I see it tilted for my left-handedness. So I was looking at the schedule today, and I am going to be taking next week off of the daily color because May 5th is my anniversary, and we are going to celebrate. It is our 34th wedding anniversary. I don't think we're going to go anywhere or anything. I just want to be able to relax. I do need to recover still from my parents' visit. I will have done over 30 days of daily color. I'm not counting I probably will have done about 35. That's not including the Sundays where I was filming the weekly color. So I will take the opportunity to work on some things since we aren't traveling. I really want to get ready for the Brutfuner 520s. So the next page that will be done, I will be starting it this week, is going to be, I believe, houses, and they will be done probably with a mix of the Brutfuner 120 squares and the pastels. We'll see if I can get the pastels in the mix. And I think I went awfully fat on the dark color on that upper fin. So I think taking next week for a little R&R is good for me. I wanted to get at least 30 days of coloring under my belt before I took a break. I will be again on the bees, but as a second round. I'm still chipping away at the Castle Arts Gold. I was very pleased to get them sorted in their proper sort order. Compliments of Coloring Bliss's free swatch chart that warms my heart because the browns are for the most part integrated into the color tone that they have in them, which is great. That is my preferred sort for browns. It also will give me a chance to contemplate how I want this next round to go, what kind of fun things I can integrate that are new for me. I still may actually slow the pace of this particular set of pages. I have a special technique new to me. Many of you will already have done this technique. and I think I want to try it out. It means I will be doing an extra day on the fish, moving then on to the houses. 3 large houses, I believe. And then next week, taking the week off, and then the following week, kicking off the Brute Funer 520, pulling minimal colors out for 35 different flowers. I thought that would just be a fun way to get into all of the different trays of colors. So what's interesting is the coverage of these on this slick paper, not very toothy. I'm seeing more tooth than I would like after 2 layers. I did go back through the body, see, and I still see some tooth. Which is very interesting to me because people often proclaim that these are their favorites next to the Prismacolors for like a soft, creamy pencil. But I don't find these so creamy. They're more, to me, they're a harder light layering pencil. Which actually is my preferred style of pencil. So I'm not complaining about it. I just find it interesting that people think these are so soft because I don't find them to be overly soft. The other interesting thing is that I put the Prismas under my professional pencils, so I have not used them yet. I am still making my way through the ones that I own. I believe I have used Holbein, Luminance twice actually, because I'm using the white and buff titanium to smooth out the polychromos on my kelp page. So they really only get an honorary mention for the kelp page. I'm just using them for smoothing out the polys. I actually notice a couple of little triangles of color in between the flowers. Let's see if do I have any more up here. So that is my game plan. I haven't even told Hub that this is the plan. So since we aren't necessarily traveling, then we'll probably do mostly the normal. Our big thing that we do is exercise every day in the AM. So we will still be doing that, which means he will still be napping as per normal. And I will use that time to work on my Brute Funer 520s. All right, so I think let's Just make sure, yep, that I'm ready to move on to colors. I'm going to do the same strategy that I did with the Amazon Basics. And that means flowers come next. We will do the purples. I believe I am going to, there's more flowers on the next two. I am going to have these small flowers be purple. I noticed that the colors appear more vivid for the greens and the purples. So we will see how this works out. I'm actually very sad that all of the company that typically in Florida, if you're going to have company, they tend to visit around wintertime because that's when the weather is the mildest here, which for me ended up being far colder. I think I actually reversed these. Far colder than I expected. And I am just now thawing out, I feel. But at least when my parents came, it ended up being lovely weather for them. They loved the temperatures, and then right after they left, it was in the 90s. Okay, so since I think, like I said, these tones are darker. So this is the middle color. And then this should be the light color. Yep, that's how I should have done it. I have the Artezas out. I have not picked colors for them yet. I am optimistic that I will be getting an opportunity to pull those as soon as we finish. So, yellows. Purples, I didn't even tell you that. I'm going to do names because I cannot read the numbers. And I did not bring my craft glasses. Alright, so we have violet. That's the darkest. Parma violet is the lightest, and the middle one is imperial violet. Alright, and then yellows. The lightest yellow is called lemon yellow, but it looks green. Canary yellow, and then chromium yellow deep. So let's see how these three work. And then I have two browns for the middle of these two bigger daisy-like flower centers. I will say these are very quiet and they do feel creamy. Probably the creamiest pencils. Even the polys are a little bit more on the silky side. They don't, the buttery, creamy feeling isn't how the polys feel. They feel silky. These feel buttery, creamy. However, the blues tended to leave little bits of the tooth showing, and that was with 2 layers. I'll probably have to go through with a 3rd layer on my own time. I cleaned them up a little bit, the background, but not a lot. So I do like how these feel. Part of my personal enjoyment of pencils comes from years of markers, alcohol markers specifically, and loving the buttery, soft feeling of a Copic marker. I own all Sketch, and the Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers, they're called blends, have that same, not so much with the bullet nib, but if you use the brush nib, it has that same reminiscent, smooth feeling that is the same with these creamier pencils. All right, I am moving right on to the browns. I have 2. I should tell you the names. Burnt Ochre is the darker, and Antique Brass. And actually, see these? The Antique Brass should be darker, so let's see. Oh, and they're not sharpened. Or at least this one isn't. It has not been used, aside from swatching. So let's just see. Oh, they're just so quiet. All right, now I'm going to check out. This is a decidedly more orange tone. And I am going to use this I'm just doing a very casual right. Moving right on to the greens, not wasting any time because I want to be able to pause, get my colors. Okay, greens are going to be tricky. I've had a hard time matching all of the color tones. So I've got an array, and if I go by barrels, if you remember right, the Arrtx barrels are not representative. They are pretty dark. So I'm just going to call out the variety of colors that I pulled. Emerald, army green, apple green, oh boy, I don't know what the grass green, barely read that, spring green, and chartreuse. And then the color combos were just in 2s. So the petal shapes are totally different. So I am going to try to do, a couple of these haven't been sharpened. Oh, and I just threw one on the ground. I think I can reach it though. When I hit that one, I will probably pause. I don't want to take a minute up. All right, so I'm going to try this emerald. I have a scratch paper over here. Let's just see if I'm happy with it. Yeah, the emerald is one of the bluey greens, and I'm going to just randomly pick this longer leaf is what I picked to be the blue-green on the fish above. So I will try to continue that on. Yeah, so these two, and maybe to pause and reach down and grab my pencil that I very unceremoniously tossed over the edge. Okay, that took a bit to figure out the color tones. So I have figured out the partner. Let's see. Grass green. Well, that is just interesting. How about, let's see if this is dark enough. Almost too dark. I might be fixing that. But I'll get them all consistent. So when I lighten this top layer up, which is the other one, this I think is the color I wanted. So I will be adjusting to this one. And then this is fairly light. These colors look so close. And the barrels, it's a tricky one with the barrels. So I think this is the darker of the two. Greens are the trickiest color, in my opinion. There are just so many tones and possibilities. So this one is the darker of the two. They just look like different tones. It doesn't look like one is darker than the other. Okay, so that's that one. I'm now going for a more olive tone. Just on these two with their different black lines. And then we have that, and these I want to do a dark base with a little bit lighter, but this is a blue-green. There we go. That worked out well. And then I have two more here. Let's see. So that was 4 tones. Now there's 126 of these, so I have a lot more options. And I am not sure the Arteza is going to give me as many options as I had to choose from. And this tone, I will be lightening that up. So those are the 4 tones. I'm going to go away now. This fish is done. I have the outline of the flower and this line, and I think that will be a metallic. The center of these flowers, I could grab the middle yellow. Nope, this is the darkest yellow. And I might go with a glaze or a yellow stickle, something fun. All of the green. So that is it for that. We're moving on to the next fish, which is going to be Arteza. Arteza. I haven't quite figured that out. I'll be right back. All right, I have my Arteza colors. So These are the blues. We have 4. We do not go as light as the other 2 sets went. We have Robin Egg Blue, Peacock Blue, Mykonos Blue, and Indigo. And we will start in the center, and these flowers cover most of the body, so I'm just going, oh, and I do need to sharpen. I see that 3 of the 4 were not sharpened. So I have to say a story about these. I don't think I've told you guys yet. When my mom came, I brought these out for her to work with, thinking that she has a 48 set of the Staedtler, and she struggled trying to find blendable sets of colors. So this is the Indigo, which is the darkest it goes, and I don't feel this is as dark. It's like the color range of the blues provided in the 72 are not complete. So we will see how this goes. But my mom struggled, and I brought out for her to try. I said, well, let's give you a 120 set. So I brought out the Color Black Barrel, and she got along really well with those pencils. I was very surprised. They are a soft pencil, and she really did a nice job blending in her Small Victories book. So she went home. She did not have room in her bags to be able to bring them with her. So yesterday she calls and says, okay, I'm home and I'm trying to color with my Staedtlers, the ones you gave me, and I can't stand them. You spoiled me. So we looked on Amazon, and I gave her the 120 full color, which is what I got off of eBay. I had not practiced with them, so while she waited, I grabbed a few, made a light, medium, and dark in a color, I can't even remember which, and did a quick blend with them, and I said, yes, those are as good as the black barrels. And I know some people think that the wood quality of the black barrels is not as good as the full color. So she went ahead and got one, and I told her that she could get the one in the square tub, or she could spend like $6 more. The difference between the black barrel and the full color 120 set was 1 penny. So she ended up with a set that came $26.99 with the case, a little coloring book, like a floral coloring book, and an eraser. So I just told her that that was probably the best option for her, because you can't really have a 120 sitting in cups. I mean, she could, but it's so much nicer when you have them in a case and you can just go right to the color and not have to fish for your color in a cup. So that's what she opted for. And that's her Arteza story. They just did not work for her. So I can already see that we are not going to get as light as I would like, but that's okay. It's a good comparison. These are nice and creamy as well. They feel even creamier to me than the Arrtx, and they're very quiet again. I hear nothing. They're like stealth pencils. Let's see if this is the lightest I can go. That's not too bad. I think I'll make it a little sharper. So as I was looking at these fish, they almost look like metal automaton fish or robot fish with the little dots and the lines. So I may go with, instead of like a glitter, I might go with a metallic. And if I go with a metallic for all three, I can go ahead and these little dotted fins, I could put a little metal, and then you can't see it. I might do some metal every second or third for the horizontal, and then the vertical. It's like they're riveted. Yeah, so we'll see if I can make that happen. And this actually is decent, a decent blend. I wish that the iris, sorry, not iris, the darkest color, indigo. I wish that it actually was a true indigo. All right, I'm going to try to speed things up here because I would like to get this fish completed. And then that gives me tonight to figure out if I want to pursue the new technique for me, which I think I do want to do. So for now, I'm going to stick with coloring the fins and the head exactly like I did the other two. How are we doing for time? I'm good. I think I might have no problem finishing. These fill in the tooth better than the Arrtx. They have a similar buttery feel. However, one pass is going to be good enough. Oops, I need a little bit of this color at least. Okay, final color, robin egg blue. All right, moving on from the blue. To the flower colors. Starting with the purple. And the purple, I really have 3 distinct types of flowers. So let's just see what we end up doing. I'm going to make this similar to the smaller flowers. And the funny thing is that these 5-petal flowers look like Christmas poinsettias to me. But that's not what they're going to be. All right, so this is the middle tone. I only picked 3 greens because there's only 3 types of flowers on this last fish. Oops, I'm bumping the camera. So you'll see that the 3 purple tones aren't even all of them. There's a periwinkle, a purple, and a violet. So they don't really go together very well. But that's all I had to work with. This was decidedly light on purples. Okay. Purple flowers done. Gonna do this yellow first. Oh, that is really blunt. I really feel like a third color is in order there, so I'm going to try something. Thick core. I don't want to introduce a new color tone, so this is what's the lighter of the 2 browns. We'll see if this works. All right. I think that will work. I feel like these are smooshable. And the browns, this is the lighter that I used in the other flower, and then this is the dark, and it went super dark. So we're gonna see if I can do some smooshing here. Yep, that is perfect. And I am going to make the center of these yellow. Again, I am thinking of glaze centers. I might even clean up these that I got some purple on. I will zip that away with the eraser on my own time, and we'll make them more yellow. Okay, moving on to the greens. I have 4 minutes to do all those little tiny greens. I have 3 colors of greens. I'm going to pull them out. All right. We have a bluey green. I have jade and forest green. Oh, and I only wrote numbers, so let me compare. I have 41 and 59. Oh, no, they are 59 and 66 is what I'm supposed to be using. 59 and 66. There we go. That looks better. Forest green is the dark. I see those could be leaves or berries. Probably make them leaves. Yeah, these are super soft. All right, so that's sitting aside. The next is '93 and 41. Oh, see, okay. Let's do 41. All right, so these little leaves are going to be dark in the middle. I believe that I am just going to make all of these odd shaped, sort of like berries, sort of leaves, the same. And then the third, these striped ones are going to be the limey green colors. Okay, which are 6 and 101. 6 is the darker color. And here's our lighter color. And what are we doing? 30 seconds over. Perfect. Not even a minute over. All right, so I want to, there's fish number 1, Amazon Basics. Fish number 2, Arrtx. Fish number 3, Arteza. Tomorrow we will, let's see if we can flip the page. It is houses. There are 4 houses. And we get to do the Brute Funer 120s and the pastels. So this will be fun. This will take the rest of the week to do. We'll see if I can get 2 houses per day done. And then if I need to, I might go ahead and do a daily color if I need to on Sunday. That'd give me 3 days to work on these. I can rough it in and then do a final daily color and then the weekly color review right after. All right, that is everything for today. We've got the fishes done, and I believe that tomorrow I'm going to go spend an extra day on my special technique that I would like to try and see how that goes. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we will do this all again tomorrow.